Welcome to the dark side. Greetings. I am Lord Bruticus, and this is episode 16 of the Dark Side Chats. My geeky guest this time is a costumer from San Antonio, Texas. Here now is my telephone conversation with Pete Solo.
Welcome, Pete Solo, to the Dark Side Chats.
I'm glad to be here. How you doing, buddy?
Doing really good. How long have you been costuming as Han Solo, and why did you choose that particular character?
Well, I've been costuming as Han since about '99, and I figured, well, you know, when the Phantom Menace first came out, everybody was doing all your the new prequel stuff, and I figured, you know what? What's missing from this new stuff is having, you know, the space cowboy, you know. That's what was so great about Han as a character, was that he was the one person you wished you could be. I mean, he was cool, you felt safe around him, he had an awesome ship. Yeah, maybe it falling apart, but it was the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. And plus he had, you know, he gets a girl, and plus he's just downright cool.
Well, costuming is something that not all Star Wars geeks are into. What is it that would drive someone like you or I to do this?
The reason why I did it is because when I went to the very first celebration back in Denver, I noticed, you know, I mean, I had a great time, but I noticed all the costumers, they were the ones that looked like they were having the most fun. So I felt like, you know, well, I could get into that. And plus, when I've been out there in costume at a lot of the conventions, you know, it's always great to, you know, help entertain the crowds. You know, just go out there, you know, chase a couple of stormtroopers down, you know, pose with all the Princess Leia's. You know, it's a great feeling, you know, and it's true. You know, when you costume, you get to have a lot more fun at all the shows.
Well, what are some experiences you have had costuming as your favorite character, and what types of events, like conventions, can costumers be found at?
You can find costumers at just about any convention that's out there, whether it be the small local toy shows, the bigger shows like Comic-Con or Dragon Con. But it's hard to pin down any one specific time where I've, you know, where there was an experience that kind of stood out the most. But let me try here. The group that I'm a part of, the Star Wars Society of San Antonio, well, we've done a lot of various charity events and so forth, but the ones that really stand out in my mind are some of the things that we've done for Special Olympics. You know, we've gotten geared up, costumed out there, and it's hard to say who enjoys it more, whether it be the athletes who are, you know, mentally retarded and so forth, or it's a lot of the adults who are, you know, volunteers and, you know, and teachers and so forth. They get just as much of a kick out of it as we do.
That would seem to be one of the even cooler sides of costuming, is not only dressing up for fun, going to conventions, but also being able to do so for charities and being able to help those in need.
Part of my philosophy is, you know, I may not be able to change the whole world, but at least I can make, you know, if I can make one person smile, I've made it just a little bit of a better place.
Well, what kind of advice would you give to someone who might be looking to have a quality costume made for the very first time?
Depending on what it is you're doing, which costume you're going to be doing, I'd suggest you really, really do your research, whether you be, you know, a Jedi or a Han Solo, a Princess Leia, a Stormtrooper. Really look at your research, what kind of material was made, you know, how it can be done, is it cost effective? Because a lot of stuff can easily be done, you know, and where it can still look great, and you don't have to spend a whole heck of a lot of money on it. I mean, if you want to buy the higher quality stuff, you know, that's still great. But for me, the benefit that I get out of this is, you know, from having, you know, when it's done customized and custom made, and you know, that to me, that's, you know, a much better sense of accomplishment. But you know, for anybody who really wants to do this, make sure you do your homework, because it's the big major difference between seeing a so-so costume and one that's just going to be totally, you know, awesome. And also make sure you do watch the movies, because you also want to stay in character as close as you can when you're out there. So a lot of the Star Wars costumers that are out there, the more higher quality and stuff like that, and if you really want to get into, you know, meeting up with other fans and stuff, if you're one of the quote-unquote bad guy characters, like your Stormtroopers or your Vaders, a lot of guys that are in the 501st, the Imperial Costuming Group, that's a great bunch of guys in itself right there. Or if you like, now myself, one of the good guy characters, you can go with the Rebel Legion, which is all the good guy costumers. And, you know, a lot of these groups, you know, both these groups have been around for a long time. They enjoy, like, the friendly rivalry between the two groups, and you can always find them at just about any convention. You always look for their table, and you'll see your stormtroopers, and you'll see your rebels. And it was great, especially last year at Comic-Con, was there was the Nerf Wars, which was all the bad guys and good guys had Nerf darts, and it was pretty much raining Nerf darts after a while there. But it's a great experience, to get a chance to do something like this, and just seeing everybody's reaction. Here in San Antonio, we have this big parade called the Fiesta Night Parade. It's about a 2.5-mile march, and the very first year we did this, we weren't sure how everybody was going to react to us. But as soon as we turned onto the main street, as soon as we were ready to hit the parade route, the crowd just went nuts. I mean, the only way I can describe it was, if you can imagine a rock concert, but you're the star, it was that loud, and everybody just went ballistic. And, it's gotten to the point, when we do this, people come to expect us. I mean, somebody actually told me that on the parade route. She said, I came back just to see you guys. And there's no other feeling like that in the world.
My Darth Bruticus character, of course, is something a little bit different. It's not really out of the movie. It's just something of my own creation. So I guess the costuming has a couple of different facets. There's, the movie characters, and then there's the fan-made Star Wars-related type character, too. But either one is absolutely great.
Absolutely.
Well, if you could ask or say one thing to George Lucas, what would that be?
Can you put out an ultimate edition of all of New Hope? This way we can see all the scenes that were cut, all the scenes with Biggs. And another question I'd like to ask him is, why Jar Jar Binks? No, I'm joking. If anything, what I prefer to say to him is thank you, for doing this for a lot of people out there, because Star Wars isn't just a movie. It's it's almost a way of life, and it has a philosophy into itself.
Well, thanks, Pete, very much for being a guest right here on the Dark Side Chats.
Great interview, Bruticus. That was one shot in a million.
And now for the Q2A.
What is the Kessel Run? If you know the answer, put it in the comments section of this episode.
A person referring to himself as I Am Sci-Fi stated in an email to me regarding Darkside Chat number 8 that he is the actual owner of the Han Solo and Carbonite in that episode, and it sits in his living room. He goes on to state that some of the other claims made by the person being interviewed in that episode are only partly truthful because he knows Siko Barak in person. Well, I actually know Siko Barak fairly well, and I know that some of the claims that he made in that episode were indeed truthful. However, I cannot take responsibility for any of the claims made by persons that I interview for this show. So, I can only assume that when I interview somebody that they are indeed telling the truth. And now it's time once again for another Darth Bruticus giveaway.
Purchased at the Star Tours attraction at Disneyland Park here in Southern California is a Han Solo Type DL-44 toy blaster, batteries included. Why it is international orange in color, I have no idea, but it is in its original box, unopened. Putting a lot into this giveaway, I will also include a black Anakin-style belt, slightly used, but in great condition. It fits up to a size 38 waist, US.
And as a bonus, the winner of this giveaway will also receive the first 15 episodes of the Dark Side Chats on DVD, signed by me. How about that? The giveaway is open to anyone, anywhere in the world. Just be sure to get your parents' permission if you are under 18. To enter, send me an email at darthbruticus@aim.com. Be sure to put Blaster and Belt Giveaway in the subject line of your email, where you are from, and the mailing address you would like the prize shipped to if you are selected as the winner. You can also see how to enter the giveaway in the video description of this episode. Until next time, may the dark side be with you always.
Give yourself to the dark side.